In my last theory, I addressed the potential of more than one Pokemon existing as two, and I had thought to discuss multi-brained or multi-headed Pokemon as well. But you beat me to it, comment section, so give yourselves a pat on the back because that is what today's theory is all about. Before we get into that though, I wanted to thank those out there who hit the storefront during the sale. I was notified about several shirts sold. And remember, if you guys have a shirt design, just email it to me and I'll put it up on the storefront. So, are two heads better than one? Let's talk about multi-headed and brained Pokemon today. However, I still have my Zelda collab coming up and a theory on why trainers can only use 6 Pokemon at a time. So stay subscribed for that. Now, on to today's theory. Today's theory will be a continuation from my last theory about if a Pokeball can capture 2 Pokemon. Comment section, I was thinking we could put our heads together and come up with an interesting idea. The concept is simple, just like my previous theory, how does one Pokeball capture 2 Pokemon? Either the game and the world are not following the rules, or there's something that we just do not understand. I think Kangaskhan was a special case though, since there's very few Pokemon out there like that. Someone mentioned Mantine as a good question as well, which completely boggles my mind. But when I look at that, it's just like Parasite. A parasitic symbiotic relationship. Remoraid feeds on the bottom side of Mantine and keeps Mantine clean of unwanted things. This would mean that it is indeed a parasite, and the Pokeball might consider them one Pokemon instead of 2. Or perhaps Remoraid gained some of Mantine's DNA somehow. Either way, Pokemon still has some massive loopholes. You know, someone should make a show based on that idea and call it Pokemon Loopholes or something. Nah, that would never work. Their comment section would probably just comment something that they left out all the time. Well, let's get back to the theory. Today, we are really looking at multi-headed Pokemon, or multi-brain. Pokemon like Weezing, Dodrio, Metagross, and Dugtrio, as well as Hydreigon and the Ice Cream Cone. This is complete coincidence, but most multi-headed Pokemon are from Gen 1. Why is that? Coincidences aside, these Pokemon are all able to be captured and stored in a Pokeball, but while they may not be 2 entirely separate Pokemon, they are separate in brain functionality. In fact, some of them have some really odd entries in the Pokedex. Let's take a look at Dodrio first. When Doduo evolves into this odd breed, one of its heads splits into 2. The 3 heads respectively represent joy, sadness, and anger. This means that one of its heads was always in control the entire time, and that head remains in control. But man, evolving into sadness and anger? Now, that would suck. But there is another entry that I wanted to address. Apparently, the heads aren't the only parts of the body that Dodrio has 3 of. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say, everyone thinks Dodrio has 3 dicks. Now, let me be the first to say, I raised an eyebrow at this one also. But after that entry states this, it has 3 sets of hearts and lungs as well. So, it is capable of running long distances without rest. And that puts this theory to rest. Stop submitting it, please. Let's move on. Weezing is the next multi-headed Pokemon. Dex states, where 2 kinds of poison gases meet, 2 coughings can fuse into Weezing over many years. Metagross is the same, just fusion of 2 Pokemon as well. And I couldn't find much about Vanillux, the ice cream sundae, but if I had to take a guess, I'd say that it belongs in the fusion category as well. These Pokemon can be held by a Pokeball because it is a fusion of 2 lesser Pokemon, which really isn't much of a mystery. Fused Pokemon will probably become a reality someday, just like breeding was. Let's move on to Dugtrio. Dex states that Dugtrio are actually triplets that emerge from one body. As a result, each triplet thinks like the other 2 triplets. They work cooperatively as they burrow endlessly. Since they are triplets, they share the same DNA and the same signal, which would correspond to 1 Pokeball. Dugtrio isn't really that mysterious, but the process of multiplying into 1 submind is. Hydreigon is a special case. None of this applies to it. Dex states the heads on its arms do not have brains. They use all 3 heads to consume and destroy everything. What a lovely poke. But Hydreigon has fake heads for arms? Why? Its name implies more than 1 head. Taking Hydra into context, a mythological dragon that caused Odysseus some serious issues, Hydreigon has 1 brain, so it's obvious how a Pokeball would capture it. there we have it. Several multi-headed, multi-brained, or in some cases, no-brain Pokemon.
But Proto, what about that one Pokemon you didn't mention for whatever reason? But Proto, what about this Pokemon? But Proto, this wasn't a theory!
Right, so I can't cover every Pokemon in a short episode, and that goes for the theory portion too. Traktion is the one Pokemon that doesn't make sense here, and really needs investigated more. We will revisit Traktion soon enough, but for those out there looking for another episode, just return Thursday, and I'll be here waiting to entertain you. Comment section, I have a new series called Pokemon Facts, and if you haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It'll stop the whole "this isn't theory" nonsense, so check it out if you're interested. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to do some research and fact checking. Thanks for watching, leave me a like, and I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless. Thanks for watching my video and making it to the end. If you want to see my theories a day early, make sure to head over to my Patreon, where donators get a day early viewing of my newest theories. And follow me over on Twitter to see my updates about certain videos and access to some cool unlisted hidden content as well. If you don't have Twitter, I am on Tumblr too, so be sure to check out my videos on your preferred social networks or subscribe here on good old YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a while now, and I don't plan on going anywhere soon, so I hope you keep supporting me by liking the video and sharing it where you can on Facebook or Twitter or other forums as well. Thank you again for taking a bit of time out to support me, and I hope to see you here next time on Pokemon Theory. Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images obtained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights. So please remember this when watching my Pokemon theories. Thanks.